Good evening, everyone. Glad to see you out tonight. At this time, it is now 6:31, and I will call this City Commission meeting to order. We will stand for our invocation by Senior Pastor Derek Lambert, and we will follow that with our pledge.
Distinguished leaders of our City Commission, we thank you for your service to our incredible town. And members of our community, thank you for being here and your interest in High Springs. This evening is a very special evening as we have opportunity to recognize members of High Springs' finest. The law enforcement officers of High Springs Police Department. And as a portion of my prayer, I wish to give thanks to God for you gentlemen, your families, and your service to our community. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we ask God's protection and blessing on you day in and day out. Would you join me as I pray? Almighty God, whose great power and eternal wisdom has created all things and embraces the entire universe, including every person on the face of this planet, we ask that you would watch over all policemen, law enforcement officers. Dear God, that you would protect them from harm in the performance of their duty, to stop crime, robberies, and violence. We pray, O God, that you would help them keep our streets and our homes safe day and night. We commend them to your loving care because their duty is dangerous. Grant them your unending strength and courage in their daily assignments. Dear God, protect these brave men and women. Grant them your almighty protection. Unite them safely with their families after their duty has ended. And we pray, O God, for their service to our community. We pray for their families, and we pray for your glory to be manifest in their lives. Bless this incredible town. God, we thank you for our community. We thank you for each leader thereof. Father, thank you for the interest shown by those in this room. Father, may wisdom be applied to decisions that are made tonight, and may you receive glory and all honor in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our thanks to the senior pastor. And with that, we will have Ms. Palm give us our roll call, please.
Mayor James.
Here.
Vice Mayor Evans.
Here.
Commissioner Jamison.
Here.
Commissioner Jones.
Here.
Commissioner Williams.
Here.
All right, our next item is the approval of the agenda. But before we do that, I understand that we need to make an amendment.
Oh, yes. One of the commissioners need to be appointed to the Wild Spaces. That's a requirement by the county and the ordinance that went through.
Okay.
So what we want to do, put that out as an agenda item
If you would, and then vote.
on the new business?
On the new business,
New
item
business.
number 5.
Make a motion to approve the amended agenda.
Second.
All right, it has been properly moved and second that the agenda be approved as amended. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. Agenda approved. Motion carries 5-1. Approval of the minutes from January the 12th, 2016 Commission meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Right, it has been properly moved and second that the minutes from January 12th should be 2017 Commission meeting be approved. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion carries 5-0.
Our next item is promotion and swearing-in ceremony for High Springs Police Department officers by Police Chief Joe DeCourcy.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, Commissioners, Mr. Booth, Mr. Walker. Thank you for this opportunity. Very rarely we get opportunity to promote, and this is a rarity, I think. We have promotions, plus we have some hirees. We wanted to make sure that the new officers know who you were, and then you know who they are. So there won't be no mistakes. But we really appreciate this opportunity, and we thank you for this wonderful community with all the support. The year went by so fast when you're having fun, and this is one of those duties of a chief that we really appreciate, because there is so much going on in the world, and when you get individuals that continuously join the profession, that means a lot. Sheriff Donnell said that she had 60 applicants last year. Now she only have 10 that applied, so a lot of people are not joining, or they just said, it's not for me. So if you would, we have Officer Josh Latimer and Officer John Fricky. Please step forward. Officer John Fricky was hired on January 23rd, 2017. He was briefly worked for Gainesville Police Department. He is an active reserve member of the United States Armed Services.
Good for you, man.
Yes.
Officer Josh Latimer was hired January 23rd, 2017. He previously worked for the Columbia County Sheriff's Office as a deputy sheriff. Officer Latimer has extensive training in law enforcement. He is a former K-9 handler, certified firearm instructor. He's a father, a brother. Both served. He has a father and a brother that both served in law enforcement. I happen to know them both. Officer Latimer. In law enforcement, we have a oath of office, and at this time, we would like to offer the oath of office. If you would both raise your right hand. I state your name.
John Fricky. I, Josh Latimer.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support, protect, and defend.
I will support, protect, and defend.
The Constitution and the government of the United States and the state of Florida.
Constitution. Government. United States.
We'll try that one more time.
It's hard.
The Constitution.
It's really hard.
The Constitution.
Yes, it's hard.
The Constitution and government of the United States.
Constitution. The government of the United States.
And the state of Florida.
And the state of Florida.
That I am duly qualified.
Duly qualified.
To hold office under the Constitution of the state of Florida.
To hold office. Constitution of the state of Florida.
And the charter for the city of High Springs.
And the charter of the city of High Springs.
And that I will and faithfully perform.
I will faithfully perform.
The duties of a police officer.
The duties of police officer.
Of the city of High Springs.
The city of High Springs.
Which I'm about to enter.
Which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Yes.
At this time, do you have any family that are present that you'd like to recognize?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. And who would you like?
Julie. My wife.
That's how you call your daddy, man? Now I will call to the front podium Sergeant Adam Joy, Sergeant Vernon Higginbotham, and Sergeant Kendrick Hampton. Sergeant Adam Joy is promoted to the rank of Patrol Sergeant effective June 27, 2016. Sergeant Joy has a combined total years of service with the High Springs Police Department and the Alachua Police Department. Sergeant Joy served as the Police Explorer Advisor and as a High Springs Police Chaplain Advisor. Sergeant Joy. Officer Higginbotham is promoted to the rank of Patrol Sergeant effective June 27, 2016. Sergeant Higginbotham served as a reserve officer since 1985 and was hired as a full-time police officer in 2013. Sergeant Higginbotham retired from the Florida Department of Correction as a lieutenant. Sergeant Kendrick Hampton. Officer Hampton is promoted to the rank of Patrol Sergeant effective July 5th, 2016. Sergeant Hampton has 6 years of service with the High Springs Police Department. January. Okay, all right. Thank you, Sarge. Thank you. He served 6 years service at the High Springs Police Department. Sergeant Hampton is certified firearms, defensive tactics, and taser instructor. He serves as an agency trainer, youth unit coordinator. If you would, raise your right hand. I state your names.
I, Adam Joy.
Having been appointed Sergeant of the High Springs Police Department.
Having been appointed Sergeant of the High Springs Police Department.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
And the state of Florida.
And the state of Florida.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion. And that I will and faithfully discharge the duties of the office in which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations. Family members that you would like to pin on the badge, this is a ceremonial pinning of the badge.
Yes.
Also gives family members the opportunity to stick them.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Head and all. Get my head up.
Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Sergeant. All right. Congratulations.
I am not contagious.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate your patience. This is something that is really near and dear to our hearts. These men go out each day and put their lives on the line, Before I introduce this other promotion, I'd like to just recognize Chief Chad Scott with Alachua Police Department, Deputy Chief Butler with Lake City Police Department, Captain Bella Blizzard with the Alachua County Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Jesse Sandusky with the Alachua Police Department, and Miss Michelle Clemens with the Alachua Sheriff's Office. Lieutenant Shepard, would you please step forward? It's a family affair.
Daddy's girl.
Lieutenant Antoine Shepard is promoted to the rank of Deputy Chief effective January 23, 2017. Deputy Chief Shepard has 16 years of service with the High Springs Police Department. He previously served as an interim police chief in 2014. He has formerly held the rank of Executive Lieutenant, Patrol Sergeant, and Uniformed Detective. Lieutenant Shepard, would you please raise your right hand? I state your name.
I, Antoine Shepard,
Having been appointed Deputy Chief
having been appointed Deputy Chief
of the High Springs Police Department,
of High Springs Police Department,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Florida
and the state of Florida
against all enemy, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely
take this obligation
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without any mental reservation
And that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office in which I'm about to enter.
the duties of the office.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Officer Latimer, you see how he asked his mom to come?
Yeah, thank you for taking care of Keegan about that. I didn't realize nobody was there to. And, did you go? Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Chief, you're gonna have to call me up there one night, because Gloria's never hugged me, and she's talking. You know we're gonna do it. Thanks, buddy. You ever heard that expression, people live in glass houses?
If it please the mayor, if it's possible to have the promotees and the new hirees to have something to say.
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, you have the floor.
All right, I've left my 2-hour speech at home. I've been here since 1985. When I first put this uniform on, I've seen a lot of chiefs come and go. Very appreciative of Chief DeCourcy. He didn't like the go part. Did you see that? I'd like to thank him, Deputy Chief Shepard, and Dr. Thomas back there. Dr. Thomas administered 3 days, and I won't say the word. Some rough stuff. He was a blessing to the department, too. I'd like to give him a big hand. serve High Spring. I've seen it grow. I first come here, I think 1,400 people. That's right. To how many now, Mr. Booth?
About 6,100.
6,100 and still growing, correct?
Yeah, really growing.
We got the best commission and the best police department in the state of Florida, and I'll put that up to next to any city. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
I've never known a preacher not want to speak.
I was trying to wait till the preacher get up here and speak. I want to thank God for being here and for this promotion. I'm so honored and humbled to be in this position to serve the community that I've been born and raised in. It's such a great thing to be able to give back to the community. And I'm so glad to be from High Springs. I'm glad to see a lot of folks here. We're going to keep moving forward with this police department. You have one of the great areas, including the Los Angeles work hand in hand. And our job is, like Chief Scott always says, be that big lion on top of the hill, protecting our folks out. So I thank you.
Just want to say thank you to the support of the community. I've been here all of my life, and this is without a doubt the best state that I have ever seen this police department in a very long time. We have great leadership. Chief, of course, has been with us for just 1 year, and he's already accomplished so much, and I mean so much. I mean, as far as our safety, technology, you name it, we got it. Between him and the leadership of Lieutenant Shepard, the support that we get and the backing from the city manager and the current commission, we really appreciate it, and it makes a difference. It makes us do our jobs a lot easier, and it makes us happy, and we actually want to come to work and be here to serve and protect you guys. So again, over the next 15, 20 years of my career, I look forward to continue to see you all, and we love you and thank you.
I just want to say thank you for letting me be here, the opportunity. Thank you, Chief. I really appreciate it. Deputy Chief, my wife, and everybody. Sergeant Chief as well. We had a pretty big. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah.
All right, it's my turn, y'all. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Like I said, I started on this journey a little bit late in my career. I decided that I wanted to do something that I always wanted to do, and that was be a law enforcement officer. I told my girlfriend, now my wife, that you know what, I need to do something different, and I want to do something that I know that's up to my potential. So I quit my job working for the city of Gainesville, and without a job, and I put faith in the Lord that I can make it. So I went, done it, and I was actually going to apply to a few different agencies and went to some interviews and stuff like that. And Deputy Chief Shepard happened to see me in one of those interviews. And next thing I knew, I was interviewing right here. Very next day after the interview, I had an interview with former Chief Troiano, and I was hired, and I've been here ever since. I love this community. I grew up 6 miles from here in Fort White. My grandparents been here in High Springs for 60 years. Everybody knows Reverend Hampton. Been up here, y'all know, talks a lot. Like tell him I said that. But I really do appreciate, we got a wonderful group of guys. Our command staff, Chief DeCourcy, Deputy Chief Shepard. My very first assignment, he was my FTO. He showed me the ropes, and where I am right now. I took his old spot. When he got promoted, I was actually been I was acting sergeant for about 2 years. before I became full-time. So I'm actually in about 3 years as a sergeant now. But that's all him. You know, he showed me the way, what to do, what not to do, and continues to mentor me in the right direction. And only thing I can do is show the other officers what I know, and we can try to work together and move forward and serve this community. I love this community, and I plan on staying right here.
Good deal.
Plan a speech, but City Commission, thank you for having me tonight. Chief, Deputy Chief, thank you for this opportunity. I'm very blessed to be here. I want to thank my parents for coming out tonight. It's their 42nd anniversary. 43rd. I apologize. But I'm honored to have them out here tonight to support me, and I'm just very blessed to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience. And Dr. Thomas, he must have slipped in when I had my back turned. He's our agency psychologist, and he's the one that tell me either they're off their rocker or a bad hire. So we're glad to have him. And Reserve Officer Mark Trahan, he's in the back there as well. So, and Sergeant Schenk, we appreciate you coming. Thank you. God bless you, and continue supporting us, and we support and love you as well.
Ought to lock the doors when they come in. They come stay to the whole commission meeting.
Watch what?
I want to lock the doors when they come.
Come from one thing.
Yeah, one thing and then leave.
That's it.
That's okay. We'll wait.
It's a fun machine. That's a flat iron. You gonna have it set up like that?
No, probably not. That's really for skiers and that. Going to run around.
Hey, we can take it to the river and haul some good-looking women behind the boat. You don't have to ski. That's true.
We can go over to Jacksonville, because that's probably where it's going to be. I'll put it on the Navy base. Right down the
Go up and down the sea.
Well, you go in the ocean.
The only thing is, when you go into the ocean, make sure to get one that has an ocean engine.
Oh, yeah.
They make it different.
Right, I understand.
If you get a fresh one, it'll take it out there easily.
Yeah, we already talked. So what did you tell her?
I told her I can't do anything. I can't find the city. You can have one.
Give her a bus ticket.
Okay, at this time, we will continue with our agenda, and we will start with unfinished business. Item number 1 is consider approval of ordinance 2017-1.
Madam Mayor, this is ordinance 2017-01, an ordinance of the City of High Springs, Florida, pursuant to petition number A16-06 relating to voluntary annexations, making findings, annexing to, and including within the boundaries of the City of High Springs, Florida, certain real property located in Alachua County, Florida, which is reasonably compact and contiguous to the boundaries of the City of High Springs, Florida. Redefining the boundaries of the City of High Springs, Florida, providing the land use classification of the real property to be annexed, providing an effective date January 1st, 2018. The real property to be annexed shall be assessed for payment of municipal ad valorem taxes and be subject to all general and special assessments, providing that existing licensed businesses, trades, or professions operating within the real property to be annexed may continue such businesses, trades, or professions throughout the entire boundaries of the City of High Springs, Florida. Directing the city clerk within 7 days of the effective date of this ordinance to file certified copies of this ordinance with the Florida Department of State, Florida Office of Economic and Demographic Research, the clerk of the Circuit Court of Alachua County, Florida, the chief administrative officer of Alachua County, Florida, the property appraiser of Alachua County, Florida, the tax collector of Alachua County, Florida, and all public utilities authorized to conduct business within the City of High Springs, Florida, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date. The appropriate motion is to pass ordinance 2017-01 as read by its entirety.
Okay, thank you. All right, at this time, I will open this up for public input.
Say, is that
I thought it was one of these. That's an elevator or the fire alarm? Elevator.
Do we need to call somebody from? Yeah. Go get a road or something?
Yeah.
Okay, seeing no one, at this time I will close the public hearing. Discussion and consideration.
No one has any discussion or consideration. Okay. I make a motion to approve ordinance 2015-01.
Second.
2017, right?
You know what I said?
Said 15.
Whoa.
2017-01.
All right, it has been properly moved and second.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Williams?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Evans?
Yes.
Mayor James?
Yes.
Commissioner Jameson?
Yes.
All right, motion carries 5-0. Our next item is citizens' requests and comments for issues that are not on the agenda. And please state your name for the record and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please.
My name is Nancy Lavin Linkus. I live at 18976 Northwest 240th Street in High Springs, Florida. That's the old address was 530 Northwest 4th Street. I'm here tonight, Madam Mayor and Commissioners, to ask you to help us as neighbors. I'm representing myself, Mike and Lisa Davis, Mark and Julia Willard, Bob and Diana Deckow, and Tyler and Jessica Williams. We border the property that is Barber's Automotive, and we are coming to you to ask you for help. So with your permission, may I please give you something I've prepared so that you can see it? It's easier to see. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, how are you? All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so the reason we're here tonight is there's 2 issues. One issue, the first issue is for over 10 years, there's been repeated violations of unpermitted business activity at this location. We have complained to many code enforcement officers, many city attorneys, not attorneys, city managers. There is a case dating back to 2006, which I reference in the documents that I gave you. And the things that are happening is there's a trucking business known as HK Logistics, which is running out of that location. They have a towing and recovery business, and they have an auto storage yard for unrunning and damaged vehicles. This Barber's Auto Repair has been an automotive repair facility for years. We do not have a problem with the fact that it's an automotive repair facility. Our issues have always been with the other 3 issues. Their conditional use permit did not include those activities. It never went before the plan board or zoning for permission to have those activities. And I actually am a code enforcement person as well. I have been on the board for years here in the city and was part of, at that time, you know, I remember the case and the gentleman that owns it was told he had to go before the proper protocol to run those businesses. So we've been asking the city for help for years on that issue. The next issue, the bigger issue, is there is a new building that was put in place over there to replace an existing damaged building. What we believe happened, from what we can gather, a permit was issued in June of 2016 for a new building to replace that damaged existing building. Somewhere around August 1st, a plan modification was made, and the footprint of that building became substantially larger than the building it was replacing. At no time did it have to go through planning approval. At no time were we notified as neighbors. And we were never given the opportunity for input. Additionally, they've taken all of the tree barrier down. We now have a tremendous decrease in our values of our properties, and it's affecting our lives tremendously. I see this light blinking at me. Does that mean I have to shut up? Okay. Okay. So
there are 3 neighbors here, and if it's okay, if she could continue on, she's speaking on our behalf. If that's fine, she's going to use our time also.
I attached some pictures in the packet, and I know that it's limited time tonight, but I want you to visually see what we're looking at. I am very blessed that the impact to me personally is not huge. It is an impact, and I do hear it, and I do see it. Mr. Davis, who just graciously gave me his time, you'll see some pictures in there on the impact of his. The photo I put in there on the previous building is not real clear because it's very small. I made a larger copy of that I'm going to give you. This was the original structure as they began to demolish it, and you will see that it's substantially smaller than what they have put on the property at this time. So we're asking for your help to figure out how we can get the quality of life back that we had, and all of us have been in that neighborhood for a number of years. I purchased that house in 2000. Mike was there when I moved there. Mark Willard moved there within about a year after I did. So it's not something that we're new neighbors or, you know, the auto activity isn't the problem. That's not what we're complaining about. And myself and Mike are both self-employed. We want this man to be able to make a living, but we want a quality of life for our residential neighborhood as well. Okay? Thank you so much. I'm gonna give you this picture. I'm sorry I ran out of ink, so I couldn't print larger ones for all.
Thank you.
We have the building official here to also speak. Go ahead, Scott.
Scott.
Thank you. We have been working with the neighbors and with Barber's Auto. I know Mrs. Linkus had some concerns, and she expressed to me her concerns about the landscape buffer and why he didn't have to provide a plan in the beginning, and it was because he was replacing a building. The building is a little larger. There was not an approval, then he changed it to make it larger. That was the exact size that he came to us with, and really there was no call for it to have to go because he was replacing the damaged building. Since then, he has continued to do site work. He has taken trees down, and he is aware, I've been communicating with him verbally for the last couple months, that if he takes the buffer down that was there, he's going to have to replace it. And he said he would. I said, but you need to provide us a plan. We need a plan from a landscape designer and architect. I've been waiting for it. So last week we went ahead and sent him a letter via certified mail stating as such and telling him that he will not get a CO until he provides us a plan that we can approve, and he goes ahead and follows that plan. Just today I met with his general contractor and again reiterated that to him to try to get him to tell him that. So it is being worked on. We're aware it's an issue. I talk to Mr. Davis almost, I want to say, every other week, and we are aware it's an issue, and we're working on it. I've been telling the neighbors, just let us do our job, all right? And I think that they are, and they got to trust us that he will comply. Right, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Hey, just a quick question on that one there with the buffer type of thing. So he gives you the plan, and then you do the CO. Do they have to implement the plan before you get it, or simply providing? I mean,
yes.
He gives you the plan,
no,
but he
doesn't
follow through, but you give him this. You follow what I'm trying to say?
No, he has to implement it.
Okay.
And I mean, he's gone so far as he has vegetation. He has trees there now, and I told him don't plant them. I said you're missing what we're telling you. You have to provide us a design. And that's going to be require an opaque buffer that's 30 feet. Speaking of the other stuff, I really don't know. I know that we've sent him letters to cease and desist the trucking operation. I know that he has a facility over in Columbia County. How much is being used of that, I don't know. And the salvage, I don't know either.
The nighttime stuff isn't happening, right?
They could probably answer that more. I mean, I've talked to Mr. Davis, and I tell him, if anything you see, if you need to video it or take pictures, I said, do it. I said, I do take pictures every week when I'm going by there. We've documented the trees. He did ask permission to take the trees down. And when he asked permission, we said, you're going to have to replace them. The majority of the trees that were coming down were closer to the property line, and a lot of them were decaying and risking falling onto the other property. But
you're going to have to keep on this.
We are, and he's proposed putting a fence up, and he can use that as part of his opaque buffer, but he does have to put trees up as well. And like I said, I met with the general contractor today and said, look, you need to get this, through to him, because I don't think he gets it. He might, but I mean, I've also reached out to his architect and said he really has to get this design to us, because he's not going to be able to open.
But are they not working out of there?
They're working on the other
side?
Yeah, outside like they used to.
Okay. I guess that's part of my concern. I realize you say they will not get a CO unless they comply with what we're saying.
Well, I mean,
because they're already there.
It's a new building.
Yeah.
It's a new building. And I mean, so really, I mean, it can't be occupied until I say it can.
Right. Okay.
All right. I mean, we are working on it, and we'll continue. We'll continue with we'll look into the trucking company legality of that, and the recovery, towing recovery as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Yes.
Mike Davis. What Scott said about them, that they are working in the other building, is not exactly how it's taking place. This is all directly in my backyard, and they are working and operating on these semi-trucks on a daily basis. Yesterday, there was a man on a 12-foot ladder right above my fence. I stood there and looked at him working on that truck. So it's not at the building, it's not behind the building, it's wherever they feel like doing something. And this is the problem. This is in my backyard, their front yards. It's an issue. We're not being nitpicking here. If anybody were to go by, if you can look at those pictures and see what it was before and what they've done, there were not a density of dead trees there that came out. He just cleared the property other than a few trees. He does have some trees there that he planted that look like Charlie Brown Christmas trees, which I've been told aren't going to fly, but this is the mentality that he has, that he's putting this stuff in, and this is what I'm looking at, and this is what we're dealing at, and we just want to try to make sure that this is going to get taken care of properly. Plain and simple. If it were me, I can't believe that you guys would be letting it go on like this. We don't understand why it's going on like this. The new building is fine. The automotive repair is fine. If anybody in this room can say he's not running a trucking company out of there, all they have to do is spend a little bit of time there on a daily basis and watch. It is no secret. And we just can't figure out why nobody. The other big concern is, I talked with Mr. Booth. He said that Bruce was in charge of day-to-day code. Talked to Bruce, and he says, I have nothing to do with barbers. Go back to Scott, and Scott says, well, if nobody else is going to do anything, I'll take care of it. So we're just getting, I don't know if we're misled or we're just getting run around in a circle here, but it's like nobody wants to do anything about this. And it just goes on every day, and every day turns into another month, into another year, and it's ridiculous. People need to do their job and take care of the violations that are going on, period. And it'll be resolved.
All right, Mr. Scott says he's looking into it. He's got it under control.
Understood. I do talk to Scott about it. It is not our responsibility as neighbors to videotape and take pictures and do this. I've got tons of pictures. Who do I give them to? Who's doing anything here? That's our concern. I talked to Mr. Booth. He says, call Bruce. You call Bruce. Bruce says, I'm not doing it. Talk to Scott. And you talk to Scott, and Scott will step up and try to do what he can do. I don't understand why we don't have code enforcement in this city. We always have had a position of code enforcement officer. That's what their job was. Now it's divided up amongst three people the way I understand it. And in my opinion as a citizen, it's not working for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before you come, I have a question. Scott, so whoever can answer. So what are they permitted to do at that lot?
I'm sorry, Commissioner.
So what are they licensed to do there? What they got a permit to do there? What can they can't?
They're licensed as an automotive repair. Now, working on the trucks is that's a gray area. Our LDC says they can't work on heavy equipment, and we've discussed this with Courtney Johnson, and we've kind of racked our brains over because we can't find any definition in the statutes that actually tell us what defines heavy equipment. Is heavy equipment, is it a tractor trailer or is it like a tractor or a backhoe or something? We really can't find any, so it's kind of a gray area. The towing recovery, most automotive shops do have towing. Does that mean you can store vehicles there indefinitely? Probably not. I don't think, his license covers that. So that's what we're going to look into. I mean, I don't think he can store vehicles there. But we're in the gray area is working on the trucks. It is very hard to to tell you definitely he's not running a trucking company out of there. I mean, it's all done by the phone. I mean, I don't know if they're coming and going. I do have a video going back many, many, many months ago. Right after we sent him the cease and desist letter, there was a truck parked out front on a Saturday. It was just parked there. That's the only reason I suggested, Mike, if you see him coming and going, get pictures, get videos so we have proof, because I can't sit there 24/7 to video it and check. I do come by when I come through town on the weekends, or if I'm in town, we look, and that's all we can do. I mean, I would assume he's probably still running the trucking company out there. But again, they would know more than I. And the working on, again, like I said, that is a real gray area, and I think our council would be able to tell us better on that, if he can work on trucks or not.
Okay, thank you.
I think our main issue is putting up a buffer.
Well, I think, I would agree with that, but I also think I want to make sure they have it. Who's the point person?
Thank you.
And I just want to do, so if they have an issue, who do they go to? Do they go to Scott? Do they go to you? Who do they go to?
Right now, because they were putting up a building, they go to Scott. And Scott has them because he's doing the CO and that. In the next budget, we'll probably put in a code enforcement officer because it's getting to a point where
but on this,
we need one.
On this particular issue
This
right
is
now.
Scott, because there is a building involved, and he does the CO.
Okay, I just don't want there to be a runaround at this point forward. So that's who they would go to. So if they got an issue, they're going to come to you.
Right.
And not to do whatever. I don't know if the guy can do. That's not. And I'll be honest with you. It's not my job to know whether the guy can do the stuff. Get with the attorney, find out what the guy can do in the building, and then enforce whatever it is.
Right.
I just. And you're doing it, Scott. I'm saying you're doing the job, but.
Yes, sir, and we will take care of it. We will take care of it. And I do understand their frustration. I really do, and I feel for them.
I just want them. They know it's so they're not bouncing around.
Yes, they can contact me. I'll be the point man on it, and I do have a little bit of leverage. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
My name is Mark Willard. I live right behind Barber's Auto. We thank you for giving us a point person to go to. I appreciate that. One more item that we should consider is the trucks that park in front of his property there off of 441. As you pull out between Barber's and Alice's Parkside, when those trucks are parked parallel along 441 and traffic coming southbound, you can't see the traffic coming southbound because of the size of the trucks that are parked out front. So that is a concern. Thank you.
That would be the chief of police. We'll make him the point on that.
He said thumbs up. Okay, I thank everyone for their comments. And we will move right along. Start with our new business. Item number 1 is consider resolution 2017-C.
Madam Mayor, this is a resolution of the City of High Springs, Florida, determining and declaring certain real property as surplus located in the City of High Springs, Florida, and authorizing the city manager to dispose of said property through a sealed bid competitive process, repealing all resolutions in conflict and establishing an effective date. The appropriate motion is to pass Resolution 2017-C as read by title only.
This is that house that we were given about a year and a half ago. We've tried to deal with the resident that's there. The power and water is now turned off. Scott has talked to her. We will give her an appropriate amount of time to try to find new residents and move her stuff to it. But because this was a pass-through, we need to continue passing it through and then put it out to bid. Personally, I think the tax collector should have dealt with it, but he felt that we had more tools to do so. Thank you. Well, now, Gainesville was also involved with 3 houses also. They've also now, because there were people living in them, he passed them on to Gainesville, and Gainesville has since sold those houses.
All right. I got a question, Mr. Walker. Explain the process here. You got people who are living in this house?
We have, I believe it's 2 of the children of the lady that originally owned the property was deceased, and her estate was actually probated, giving the property to the remaining 3 children. There were 4 children, one of which is deceased, and the 3 children got the property. At some point in time, apparently difficulties ensued in the family, and real property taxes were not paid for a series of years. And ultimately, the property was sold for the taxes. Right. No one bid on the property, and so the property then is cheated to the county. The county did not have an interest in owning the property. and deeded the property to the city of High Springs since it's in our jurisdiction. The ladies, the two sisters I just met with right before the meeting started, we were in Mr. Booth's office and discussing the situation. It's a difficult situation for them. They advise they're poor, and they advise they don't have anywhere to go. They want to preserve the property. I'm not sure that they understand they don't own the property any longer. I tried to make that point known to them, and that at some stage they are going to be asked to leave by a judge, or we can get this done in another way. That's basically where we're at.
They came and spoke, right?
They did. One of the sisters
I just want to
spoke.
I just want to make sure it was okay.
That's the one.
Yes.
My personal viewpoint was giving them a year.
No. I just want to make sure it was the same one, Jason. Yeah, thank you. Okay. I just want to make sure it was the one that I was thinking of.
Yes.
All right, any further comments?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2017-C.
Second.
All right, it has been properly moved in second. Ms. Pond?
Commissioner Williams?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Evans?
Yes.
Mayor James?
Yes.
Commissioner Jennings?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
All right, motion carries 5-0. Next, item number 2, consider resolution 2017-D.
Madam Mayor, this is Resolution 2017-D, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of High Springs, Florida, approving and authorizing the city manager to submit a grant application with Suwannee River Water Management District to expand the city's wastewater treatment plant, repealing all resolutions in conflict and establishing an effective date. The appropriate motion is to pass Resolution 2017-D upon its reading by title only.
This is phase 1 of the plant expansion. This will include all the design. We've actually paid for one design before for Jones Edmonds. This actually will be more relevant. Also will include, I guess, all the piping and everything else. Phase 2 will be actually the container. So this will be done in 2 phases. We've had many talks with Suwannee River, and so we're on the same sheet of music. This resolution simply says that the council understands what we're doing and we're moving forward. No match.
No match.
That's right, and this is about $1,250,000.
3 months.
It's a grant.
To what extent or how much increase will this do?
Okay, we're looking to bring it to a population of 12,000. That will bring it out to about 15 years for the growth that we're now still having.
Okay, so I mean, this is for me now.
Yes,
I want to
sir.
clarify because it wasn't long ago that we had Midtower and them here, and they were talking about the sewer expansion and also the water and so forth.
That's right.
And they said we would need to start, in the next year or 2, putting plans together to do it. So
This is it.
Does this grant expedite that process? Is that what
does,
this
sir.
is doing? Okay. I know we talked about it. This is sooner than we thought.
Well, do understand that because there is a delay from the time that we start this process and they go through their legal, we're probably talking about a year and a half out. And so we have those other grants already approved and moving forward. And so what we would like to do is always have a major grant being done and then move on to the next
Well, I
one.
was going to say, because the 3.5, the grant that's going to be putting the people on, by the time you get around to that, then this one
This
would
one
come
will
in to
kick in.
expand to take care of it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's I know we talked about it. I'm just trying to keep my ducks in a row. I'll make a motion, pass it.
Second. All right, it has been properly moved in second. Ms. Pond?
Mayor Evans?
Yes.
Mayor James?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, it has been properly moved in second, and motion carries 5-0. Okay. Item number 3, consider resolution 2017-E.
Madam Mayor, this is Resolution 2017-E, a resolution of the City of High Springs approving and authorizing the city manager to submit a grant application with the Suwannee River Water Management District to convert the city spray fields to treatment wetlands, repealing all resolutions in conflict and establishing an effective date. Appropriate motion is to pass Resolution 2017-E as read by title only.
Now, this grant actually was initiated by Suwannee River. What they would like to see us do with their grant money is to take the spray fields that are currently out there on 25 acres and create a series of ponds. And those ponds will have nitrate-eating plants. Now, it's very successful. I took a look at the one in Lake City. Lake City's a little larger, and so they have larger ponds, and they are now fully functional, and it seems to work. And so these are a series of about 4 ponds. They go from one to another, and those plants seem to be able to take out the nitrates. So when it gets into the 4th pond, it's pretty clear water, and it'll go into the aquifer. Cost of this is about $2 million. That's quite a bit of money, but they seem to think that the impact of taking out most of the nitrates out of our system is a real good thing.
You gave a presentation on this not long ago.
I did, sir.
Right.
You're right, and this is all processed. We went back to Suwannee River, and of course they're very excited because they've seen the results in Lake City, and so we'll be the second kind of pilot project for this, and then from there they'll move on.
Any money for us?
No.
That's a great job. No, okay, I'm just saying, this is what you showed us.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2017-E.
Second.
Okay, it's been motion and second that we pass resolution 2017-E. Ms. Farr? Yes.
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 Okay, motion carries 5-0. Item number 4, consider resolution 2017-F.
Madam Mayor, this is Resolution 2017-F, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of High Springs approving and authorizing the city manager to submit a grant application with the Clean Water State Revolving Fund Program, Small Community Wastewater Construction Grant, to assist the city in creating operational well fields, repealing all resolutions in conflict and establishing an effective date. The appropriate motion is to pass Resolution 2017-F as read by title only.
Now, about 10 years ago, Suwannee River purchased 5 acres on 188th in that area for well fields. And actually nothing was ever really done to it. We're getting to a point with our water that capacity with the water will be an issue too as we build more subdivisions, also for fire protection and everything else. The city has been very patient with all those letters that we sent out that said, you know, your water is safe to drink. But so this well field is even further to the east, and the further east you get from the river, the better quality the water is. I mean, not that the water that we're producing now is bad. This just is a little bit less THMs. We will keep our current well field operational, and this will be the second well field that we'll have that will produce or will provide most of the water for the subdivisions to the east of Memorial Park. And then that seems to be where we're starting to grow down 220 or 202nd Street. And that well field is very close. Cost of this will take a little bit of matching funds, and it'll be impact fees that we put in there And I'm not sure. There's some negotiations. This is DEP now. This is not Swanee River. And we will negotiate with them. But there is a grant system that we're going to go for. We're several years out for this one. This one, as we start, generally takes about 3 years before the actual work is done. You have to start.
Well, I mean, I just like to comment on the deal. This is the same thing. Mid-Tower was here and we had talked about the water. So
That is correct.
I think from the citizen standpoint, I think in ours, it's extremely comforting to know that the steps are being put in place.
Yes, sir.
To take care of the sewer and then also to address the water going forward. And I know the water pressure. I know Bruce has mentioned several times about the water pressure where this would, as you build further outside the core, you lose water pressure as you get out there, and this will help address that. So,
absolutely.
On the deal, I mean, I would just simply say 2 of these issues are something that have been foremost since I've been around here, and you have the water and the sewer. So I just commend you and the staff for soliciting these and going out and getting these and taking the burden, most of the burden off the citizens and having to stay, because this is what we're going to need if we continue to grow. We need to make sure the infrastructure is taken care of. So I thank you and staff for doing this. And Mr. Walker, that includes you when I say staff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pass it.
Second. I guess that's a motion.
For the comments. All right, it has been moved and seconded. Ms. Palm?
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, motion carries 5-0. All right, we had added agenda number 5.
The wild spaces.
Appointing a representative of Wild Spaces.
Yes, ma'am. This is important. Not only are we getting money in from the Wild Spaces, the county has put up $3 million for grants. And I believe that's part of the whole system you're part of. We will be applying for some of those grants, as we do with all the grants. But this is to ensure the city spend the money the way they have planned to do so. And so I don't see the last time they did this, I don't believe they met more than maybe once every other month or so. It's not a matter of meeting every week or every other week. It's a matter of meeting about once a month or once every other month.
But do it have to be a commissioner?
Does it have to be a commissioner?
Yes, it does.
Anybody want to volunteer?
I was going to ask that question.
Well, I didn't want anybody to pick me. That's fine.
I'll take it since I've been through it. Since the last time they did it, so.
You did it last time?
I didn't do it last time, but I was here when we went through the process.
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Byron Williams to be our representative on the Wild Spaces Public Places.
You'll be an excellent choice.
Yeah, me and Mr. Booth ride. Me and Mr. Booth can ride friendly. Every time we ride friendly, so.
Second.
All right, it has been properly moved and seconded that Commissioner Williams be appointed as the representative for the Wild Spaces project. Congratulations.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Do I get a raise?
Mr. Booth, that's your question.
We'll give you a hand clap every time you report.
Thank you. Right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Nobody opposed that?
5-0. All right, that's the last item on our agenda. So we are at the point for our city attorney report.
Madam Mayor, at the next commission meeting, Courtney Johnson will make a presentation on medical marijuana.
Oh, boy.
Because that's coming, and it's coming to all cities. She does plan to pass out samples and brownies.
Sounds like a plan.
I think we already got them. We'll have a room full again.
She's doing the the chewables?
Chief, the next commission meeting, y'all just stay home.
And that's all I had.
Okay, thank you. City Manager?
Yeah, Jenny, our city clerk, along with Courtney, are putting together the personnel policy manual, but in doing so, they're also looking at a salary study. We're really starting to have a problem in that I'm down about 1/3 of all my public works because they're being hired everywhere. I have a real problem with the fire department because, again, he's down about 4 firemen, and he's putting in temporary to try to cover that. We're not going to do this before the next budget, but I'm telling you that we're in the process of having to really look at the salaries to be able to keep the employees. And we will discuss this more in length at the budget. Right. The one thing I'm putting together also is for a planning group that consists of Midtower, our attorneys, and also need a planner. And that planner, along with the group, will look at the plans for subdivisions and large developments paid for by the developers. But we need to go through that process, which is we're legally bound to do so. And then it goes to the planning board. Then it comes to you. And we're in that process of growing. Most of our subdivisions are starting to fill up, and the need for other subdivisions seem to be there. And you're seeing the annexations, and then the subdivisions come. We also have some major developments coming along in the downtown area and surrounding, and that will also need some planning. So I'm looking for, I had a call out for Ms. Diedenbach that had worked for the city at one time, but she hasn't returned the call. She has since gotten her doctorate, so I'm not sure if she's actually in the business of doing that anymore. If not, the attorneys have been feeding me information about people that are available.
The planner, does this mean we're hiring one, or is
No.
this the one we're going to contract with?
We'll contract with. That's it. Sometime, though, down the line, we're going to have to hire somebody. But we're getting there, but not quite there. We had a planner before, but we may be a little premature, and so we're doing all right. Dave and I, we're going to go to a pre-construction meeting on the 31st for the paving of the downtown area. And we have a lot of questions of how they're going to handle the traffic while they're doing that. I also have a problem that there doesn't seem to be any foresight in the future of what to do with all that traffic coming through, because the trucks are just overwhelming that area as more and more development comes around. And our problem, too, is we're not part of the MPO. Now, that's Metropolitan Planning Organization. In every other area that I've been in, the MPO is always made up of all the cities within the county. In here, they've just made the county in Gainesville. That means they take all the federal money and they do all the planning for the future. And no planning is done for the small town.
Right.
There is a meeting on Monday with the legislative group, and I'm going to propose to them they need to take a look at it. They need to look at our traffic because it is their fault, their problem, not ours, and they need to solve it. On February the 8th, I have a meeting with the tree board to go over the tree ordinance. And as you saw tonight, there is a problem with us trying to manage people cutting trees. And hopefully once we have the tree ordinance in place, it'll be given to the tree board, which is also the recreation board, on the 8th, and we'll have a discussion and we'll look at it, and then we'll give it back to the attorneys. They will rewrite it in a ordinance form and come back to you. So that gives a little teeth to us. And other than that, doing good. Yes, ma'am.
All right, Commissioner Jones?
I was just very pleased to watch the the promotions tonight. It was very heartwarming. The police departments throughout the nation are having such problems, and it's sad to see. But tonight, seeing the camaraderie amongst all the officers was really nice, even including the 2 new ones. You could tell they felt right at home, and it was really nice to watch. That's all.
Just a couple things. I'm going to echo that a little bit. I don't know if we can overstate the gratitude for Chief DeCourcy and what they said. I don't know if we can overstate it. And I just simply say thank you and echo the same thing, that you see a difference in the police department and the employees and morale. This was a great night. I mean, I've been on this thing for a little while, not as long as my buddy here next to me. These are nights that are good. You celebrate what we did with the police department. And then we also, to me, it's a celebration on the deal with what Mr. Booth, Mr. Walker, and the staff has done as far as setting, and I'm going to say it again, setting us up to be prepared for when things start to grow, having the sewer expansion, having the water fields and so forth. So I feel very good. That was, not to be personal, but that was one of my things when I got on here, is it doesn't sound real sexy, sewer and water. But everything else is irrelevant. You don't need a police department if you can't flush and water. You don't need them because you're not there.
Right.
So it's I'm extremely pleased, and thank Mr. Booth and staff for putting these things and starting them and getting them in place. It just means we're looking out into the future and preparing and getting ready for growth. So I'm just extremely happy that those steps have been taken, and I want to thank the colleagues up here because they have the same vision. So it's just nice to be here when you have these, Mr. Walker, yourself, and staff also.
I don't have anything, man. They said it all.
They said it all. All right, Mayor.
Scott's calling us colleagues. Pastor Darren said we were distinguished earlier. I had to look around when we were talking about distinguished people. I didn't know who he was talking about. I got fried. Oh, sorry, Mark. No, but in all seriousness, I'd just like to echo Linda and Scott's sentiments. Since Antoine's still up here, I'd just like to mention that he and I graduated high school together, and I believe shortly after we graduated, he started coming on the police force here. I kind of went the other way, probably during high school too, but I'm just glad to see that he was able to come up and steadily be promoted here. And I guess I did poorly, so they put me up here versus that. They don't trust me with a gun.
I wonder why.
But in all seriousness, I'd just like to say congratulations to him. I've known him for a good number of years. And say that we all support our police and fire department and all of our staff, and we're proud of everybody. I think everybody here is doing their job to the best of their ability and really trying to help the citizens of High Springs, which is what should be all of our goal. And other than that, I don't have anything else to offer at this time.
Okay, well, I'm pretty much in the same boat to say thank you for everything that has been accomplished. It's a pleasure to work with a bunch of ladies and gentlemen that can get the job done. They can get it done in a way that nobody goes home feeling like, what just happened to me? So I appreciate that. But I also want to make a statement, and I don't know if it can be corrected or not, but I need to say it anyway. On the corner of 234th Street and 27, I want you to know there's an accident waiting to happen out there. It's just waiting to happen.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. I don't know when, but it's going to happen on that corner. I know 27 is a state road, and I know it's marked for car parking in that area. But when the cars are parked there, you cannot see traffic in either direction if you're coming off of 231. So heads up. whoever can help with the situation, please do it.
We will bring that fact to the pre-construction meeting and see what they say.
Okay, very good. No, 231.
You said 234. That's why I wrote it down.
I'm sorry. No, it's 231 and 27. Is that road?
Highway 27 or our road is named Northwest.
Whatever that big road is out there.
Yeah.
Okay, now with that, I got a question for you. Do everybody have their ticket for the chamber banquet tomorrow night? Yeah.
I wondered why she was still here.
Yeah, she's still here.
Oh, yeah, they promote us now.
Yep.
I feel for you, man.
Yeah, if you're on the commission, it's free, right?
No, tickets are $15.
Yes.
Tomorrow night, right across the street at the Women's Club at 6 o'clock. So see me or Miss Andrews and get your ticket, please.
So we have to duck y'all on the way out.
You ain't gonna do any good, Jason.
All right, with that,
Adjourn.
there you go. Meeting adjourned.
Yeah, I get that tree ordinance.